guys, and welcome to the top 4 Spright deck profile that was at Locals this past weekend. I'm going to show off. So yeah, the Spright deck was in at Locals and it got top 4. And Spright, pretty cool. I fought against it, with heroes, and honestly, Spright is just a cool local rogue deck that can still just be super annoying and get tops, honestly. Like, I think this is an interesting rogue strategy going forward, and I think it's always been a good rogue strategy. Now this is just pure Spright with the water engine, so let's get into it. Now for the Spright stuff, we're kind of getting classic here. 3 blue, 3 jet, searches the monster, searches the spells, nothing too crazy there. Then of course you get red, which is like, I think, let's say your monster negate, which is always pretty cool. Then you got 1 carrot, no pixie. Pixie is really, so you don't usually get the full usage of it until Elf ever gets off the list, which don't think that will happen, but because we're still missing Elf with this deck, and honestly, Elf is the missing piece of this deck to become, I think, a contender again. Of course, we have 3 of the starter, 1 of the Gamma Burst, and of course 1 of the Double Cross to round out the Spright Court. Spright Court it's the same. The only thing that's missing is Pixie, and of course because Elf's banned, so hopefully that comes out the list. It'll be kind of cool. The water engine, of course, we have 3 of the Swampy Boy himself to go into the Ice Mage of the Ice Barrier, do the Freezing Chain to bring it back to extend. So, of course, we have that. This is a great little water engine that helps you go into Toad and all the fun stuff. Of course, to also help go into Toad, we have the Nimble stuff. So, 3 Nimble Beaver and 3 of the, 2 of the Angular. Being able, this is the best normal summon in the deck. So this basically gets your whole thing kicked off. So, yeah. I also ran the Melfi package of 1 Penny, 1 Puppy, and then 1 Caddy. Puppy is not necessary, but it just helps you just do the full Melfi combo. But Penny and Caddy are pretty much the ones you can go into Herald of the Arclight on your opponent's turn to set up your Omni negate with it, which is pretty cool. So the Melfi package is always dope. And then also we do run the 1 Corruptor Ibly, being able to Ibly lock as well. Malice it's not good against for obvious reasons, but honestly, just being able to stop like the Rise matchups and stuff like that from having to have to initially go into like a Link Summon or something like that kind of puts a whole damper on their plans. So it definitely helps stall with a bunch of decks. So it's definitely not the best lock anymore, but it's still just an annoyance to deal with. Now of course we have hand traps, 3 Ash, 3 Joel, which is probably the best one in this format, and then 2 Nib, and then along with 3 Imperm. Like, these are the standard hand traps. Obviously you can change them out, mix and match, use whatever you want to use based on your preference. And the last 2 cards is 1 Triple Tactics Talent, and of course 1 Call by the Grave for your like anti-hand trap stuff. So if you want, you also can run say Cross Out if you want as well. But then of course extra deck, 1 Salomon Grey Almirage to obviously go into off your Ibly. So that's that in case you want to open a hard open and get to the graveyard so you can get your opponent's field and Ibly lock. You also can do Ling Kribo as well. 1 SP Little Knight, best Link, 2, honestly. And of course we do have the 1 Herald of Arclight, which we can go into during our opponent's turn, which is kind of nuts. So next we have all the rank 2s, which is a lot of them. Mannequin Cat, honestly, pretty niche card. Card is really cool, so love it. 1 of the Digital Buster for, let's say, monster negation. 1 Melfi of the Forest, 1 Soul Sweeper, and then of course 1 Cat Shark to help with the OTKs. And then of course as well Ninja Shadow Mosquito just to get burned, which is kind of crazy. So this is pretty much kind of necessary for Spright stuff. And of course 2 Toads. Yeah, Toad, you kind of want to turbo into this because Toad is just cool. Like, see, if you play Frogs, you know what it's about. And for the Sprites, 2 Sprint, and then 2 of the Gigantic to round out. Hopefully we get Elf back, but honestly, Spright can get along just fine without Elf. So, yeah, but that's it for Spright. Wanted to get an update on it and show off what Spright deck was at Locals this past weekend. And honestly, it's cool. It's sweet. So, like I said, pretty cool deck. If you thought about picking up Spright, go for it. Obviously, there's so many variants you can do with it too, like live twin variants are pretty neat. But yeah, that's for the profile. So if you guys enjoyed the video, if you guys did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy. Peace.